Shravan, my boy, you do not
Man.
look good. Is everything okay?
Dude, I am so depressed right now. I am so depressed, man. It is so bad. Even that pod yesterday that I was doing, the single one, I had to go through like two or three takes because the first one I started crying. And the second one obviously I screwed up when I was talking. But oh my god, dude. 20
What has
years.
Arsenal done to you, my boy?
I mean, this is not new. The fact that they screw up year after year is not new. But I'm like, dude, it's been you've come second 2 years in a row. You should be kicking on from there. It's so bad, dude. I'll start with the Arsenal game and then we can talk about this useless City game. But dude, there was so much left wanting in that game, man. There was absolutely no passion. There was no willingness to try and move forward and kick on and put the pressure on Liverpool. It's almost, for me, it was almost like we went in thinking we'll win that game. It just felt
Yeah, I
like there was a
mean,
bit of an arrogance in the way we started, because generally we start the first 10-15 minutes extremely high energy. We do things that can help us get a goal. We may not score, but at least we'll be on the attack. But this one was very passive. No one seemed to be really up for it yesterday, and I don't have words, dude.
yeah, I do not. I mean, most of the times the league titles are made in these games, not the City
Not the
versus
big
Arsenal
six,
game.
exactly. Yeah.
League titles are genuinely won by scraping through some weird ass 1-0, 2-1, or even 2-0 wins like Liverpool has been doing. So they have the champions feel written all over them at this point simply because they can scrape through even after having a bad day you still manage a single goal win somehow is basically how titles are made. It's been
Yeah.
rough. I think even the past couple of years when Arsenal came close, these were the games like either West Ham or Aston Villa is a strong team, but still those are the games where you just have to grind through every single game of those kind and get something out of it. Arsenal failed again, and I think pretty much Liverpool wrapped up the title. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, what is worrying me is okay, I get it. Like, you can't win every single game that you play. I completely understand that. But when you know it matters, when you know that there's a chance there, you should be taking those chances. Like last season, this happened. The season before it happened with Newcastle. Last season happened with West Ham again at home. This year
yep.
again with West Ham, Brighton. We didn't. Yeah, I mean, if you don't learn 3 years in a row from your mistakes, then you don't deserve to be champions, right? Now,
Yeah.
the sad part is this league is done in February. Like, there's nothing left to play for right now. Like, so with
Yeah.
today, with Newcastle winning today against Nottingham Forest and City losing, Arsenal are guaranteed a second place. So what is the incentive here for anyone to do anything anymore?
I mean, there's still
You
Champions
basic,
League. Going deep in
yeah,
Champions League
dude, you're
matters.
not
Yeah.
beating, you're not beating West Ham, man. You're not going to beat Real Madrid. Yeah, let's just call it for what it is. There is nothing left in the rest of the season to play for from an Arsenal point of view. Like any Arsenal fan who still thinks that the title is not over, like we've seen in some comments from our Instagram page, I want to buy that optimism from somewhere, man. Like that is God level optimism at this point.
Shout out to our Instagram page at unfriendly_banter.
Yeah, guys, like and follow, please. There's some really good content there. But yeah, man, I mean, it's all our doing, right? Like yesterday, there's absolutely nothing we can say that the referee got wrong, VAR got wrong, nothing. The referee got the Skelly red card wrong, and VAR corrected it, and it was right. He deserved the red card for what he did there.
Yep, for
Kudos,
sure.
Kudos just basically toyed with us. We were just like training game for him. It
And he
was
wasn't
just
even that effective, by the way. During the last part of the game, he almost had two or three easy chances to put the game to the
Yeah,
there,
but
and
where's the
he just didn't
incentive,
even
man?
care. Yeah, sure,
See,
yeah.
I think the thing right now, right? Like West Ham were given an entire week to prepare for a one-dimensional attack. They sat and did brilliantly at that. So it doesn't take a genius to figure out how to beat Arsenal. The play is fairly straightforward. You pass it to the wings, you clip the wings, we have nothing going through the center. And it's not like on the wings we have Mo Salah. So you're sitting there with one area is a 17-year-old, on the other side is a 29-year-old overplayed Trossard who can't do anything. And we have a captain there that refuses to take responsibility in a big game.
But yeah, let's talk about. Martin Odegaard's downfall. I think ever since that injury, even before that, he had Saka bailing him out several times because half of the assists are just purely just Saka getting the ball
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
him from
It's
midfield just like that, and Saka does something magical, and he ends up stat padding or assist padding specifically. But Martin did do good amount of creative passes, doing something to unlock the game more often than not before his injury. But ever since the injury, he came back and he just looked like just another random player who just you would probably put in
yeah.
there just to give some time off for the actual first 11 or something. It was weird, yeah.
I don't know, man. Like you said, right? Like his whatever assist he got because Saka scored was not him creating like an amazing assist. I think the last amazing assist he had was last season against Porto, where Trossard scored that 1-0 game, which got us through to the next round. The
Yes,
problem is it was Odegaard getting the ball, passing it to Saka, and then basically praying. Basically praying and saying, "Boss, please do something, score a goal." This guy would beat 3-4 players, go score. That's all it was. And I
yeah.
don't even know if it's the injury that's causing this or it's the lack of confidence, but it's some combination of the two that is. Yesterday it was so bad. It was like every time we are on the counter attack, he takes the ball, makes a spin, makes it look
Hmm.
good, passes the
Yeah,
ball to no one, and then
yeah.
so long I've been thinking it's the attacker's problem for not reading his creative passes, but I don't think it's that effective anymore. Yesterday's entire play was just like lobbing the ball into the box, hoping Merino will get his head against it. But you've got Suchek there, who's 6'4". You've got literally half of West Ham's defense who are all, who is that Mexican dude who's playing from midfield, Alvarez, who's
Alvarez,
started
yeah.
to who is playing very well in defense as well. Dude, you have 6-footers there, and you're trying to cross the ball to Trossard, who's 5 feet.
And to
Like do
Marino,
something
yeah.
through the bloody center, man. I was hoping we'd start Sterling. I was hoping we'd start Sterling and then get Merino on as a change in attack, but we didn't. I just wanted Sterling to make the defenders run a little bit because they would have to cover for his pace, whatever it was. Like even however useless he is, you still have to cover for his pace and the threat that he provides. And then you get tired. So then that's when you bring in a new dimension with Merino or maybe even Rice up front. I don't really care. They can do the same job,
Yeah,
right?
you can't chalk this up to the injuries or
No, lack of willingness.
yeah. I mean, it's not. It's number one. The reason why I'm saying that it's not. It's West Ham. You should have taken care of a West Ham game. It doesn't matter
Yep.
whether it's home or away.
Yep.
They are sitting like what 16th, 17th, if I'm not wrong, at least before the game.
Yeah.
And yes,
No,
as a
that
team
result didn't
who
change anything. That result
yeah,
didn't change. They're still
yeah.
16th.
Yeah, as a team, you aiming for a title race. Like you say that okay, we should just keep doing what we need to do, and then hope for something else to happen. This did not look like the team that wants to do everything in their hands. It looks like they have already been given up. It happens sometimes because time and time again, year after year, you try your best and you lose it out, like slipping through the fingers, and it gets to you psychologically after a certain point of time. And it looks like yes, this team is down and out.
But
I don't know.
how long more, man? How long more is can something like this keep happening? You can't be like we tried 3 years in a row, we came second. The fact of the matter is you're still not the best team in England. This was a year where you should have capitalized on it. Arne Slot, like Liverpool are going through a manager change. City are unconventionally bad. Maresca was not ever, in my mind, I don't think Maresca was going to win the league. So who was left up for you to challenge? No one. So this should have been your year. You
Yep.
did the
I
same
mean,
thing 9 years ago with Leicester. You're doing this again with Liverpool. Not that Liverpool and Leicester are the same thing, but still, it was a year you should capitalize on.
yeah,
But yeah,
it's very
it's
rarely you'll get a season where a bunch of teams actually underperform
yeah,
so uncharacteristically. And yes, good on Liverpool for despite no transfers, no new manager coming in, a bunch of new
oh, yeah.
tactics, they still managed to get through without even skipping a beat. So it is technically Arsenal also underperforming for Liverpool to be like this strong at this point. So on any other season, Liverpool dropping the last 4 games or something like that, they would have easily been caught up by either
Yeah.
City, or Chelsea or something like that on the good old Chelsea days. But this was the time where Liverpool can make no mistake. Even if they make mistakes, it just doesn't even matter anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
You screwed up. Okay, fine. We'll screw up with you. It's just that we have solidarity.
It's such a weird league or Bundesliga feel where okay, yeah, there's not even two teams in the race anymore at this point. Where okay,
Yeah.
fine, they can do whatever they want. At the end of the day, we know that Liverpool is going to definitely make it because they're like 8 to 11 points clear on any specific given game week.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the team sitting next to them, they can't even forget convincingly, unable to beat a team which is basically bus parking. Oh, look who joined us.
Look at that pride.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry, guys.
Congratulations on the title.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but I had to.
No,
Congratulations
this is
on the
good.
title.
This is good.
Hey,
This is shut up. Don't you dare give me this shit that it's not over. Dude, this
I
is
am
so
not.
pathetic.
I am
This
not
is
saying.
Wait. This is blatantly trolling Arsenal at this point. Saying the league is not done at this point is blatantly trolling us.
Egging Arsenal. Hey, you're still there.
Bro,
It's okay. You're still there.
I only have two words. Stay humble, bro. We have to stay humble. We have to stay humble, bro. We have
I
to.
have to eat shit right now because I don't have a comeback. I will eat it. I will eat my humble pie. But oh no, man,
This
the league is
this
done.
is not on Arsenal, bro. This is on that fellow who was on the bench. We have to stay humble.
He was not even on the bench today. He didn't play at all.
Sorry. Yeah, not in on the bench.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
asshole was the
out of the
asshole was
squad, yeah.
busy liking West Ham fan tweets where they were sitting outside the Emirates and saying stay humble, stay humble. I'm
Did
like,
you
dude, you're not
see
even
Jared
playing.
Bowen's Instagram post?
Yeah, I saw.
He also
Now
put stay humble, right?
yeah.
Yeah, humbled by the win, humbled for the win, or whatever that is. Like it was
Yeah.
again, so
I
playing
mean,
on
like
the humble stuff. Yeah.
the day when 16, 15, 17 plus teams start trolling you, you realize either you're universally hated or you're the biggest joke in this country. So one or it's a combination of the two, which I think is right now happening with Arsenal. You can't help it.
It is a weird thing, right? So number one, Haaland did try to rile Arteta and the Arsenal fans and the Arsenal team up with that line, but Arsenal tried to get over it by wearing that as a shield and then trying to troll them back. But for whatever reason, the entire footballing world outside Arsenal fans literally turned over against
Yeah,
them
I still
and
don't
started
get this.
making all these kinds of troll posts. I don't know why.
I don't get
100%,
it.
bro.
Like, so we're not supposed to celebrate a win or what? Like, it makes no sense.
100%. Like obviously they were on the perch. Like they won 4 last Premier League, so it's obviously they are at the top. But then every single fan that is not a Man City fan, first of all, their fans are plastic as shit. But even every single fan is an anti-Man City fan, right? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's. I was just telling Pusha, it's pathetic that the league is over in February. I think at this point we'll have to agree with him that this is just a farmers' league. It makes no sense anymore. No, so think
Yeah,
about it.
for
Now,
this
now
season
Liverpool,
it is, right? Yeah.
now Liverpool, instead of playing their second string squad for like FA Cup, they can play that in the Premier League and concentrate on the Champions League now.
Yeah. I mean,
You can easily do that.
I will still say
Okay,
the two
stop it,
words.
man.
I will still
Stop
stay
it,
humble.
dude.
I will not go beyond it, even though I am at a crazy high right
Stop.
now. But yeah. But this game, I don't know if you guys have already spoken about the game. Like, this game was a
No, not yet.
completely different one from Liverpool. Like, it was a very different game. Like, starting with 4 midfielders, looking for like control, looking to be that like low block counter attack team. I don't think Liverpool have done that so far. And then
Hey,
they
I have
brought
a
some.
question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, again, just genuine question. Like, why do you have a midfield, dude? If the tactic is to take the ball from Trent, direct cross to Diaz across the field, or take it from Virgil, direct cross to Salah across the field, why do you need a midfield for defense, is it?
Yes, it
Yeah,
was
I think.
defensive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think.
How is the Guardiola not realizing the ball is always going to Salah? Why is he giving him so much space?
I know.
How
This guy
stupid
is
are you? You're 90
he's like a
million
goldfish.
pounds.
He's a goldfish, bro. Literally, there is an attack. He just comes back saying that, okay, fine, I didn't get anything out of this attack. It repeated like 7 to 6 times where Salah went behind him. There was not even like second thought, oh, okay, this can happen again. I'm just going to stay back or even at least pay
Useless.
attention. No. I'm just going to go wherever I want. Yeah.
I am sorry, but I need this Salah to leave this league, man. He's torturing
Hey,
me way too much.
fuck off, man. Why to leave? Pay him $1 million. Pay him whatever he wants. Pay him
What
3 statues.
generational season, dude? Generational
Oh,
season
great.
he's having, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think,
hopefully
like,
he
I
has a
think,
good Champions League run so that he can actually stand up there for the Ballon d'Or stuff. He deserves it for sure. Yeah.
Who has come close to him this season?
yeah,
No one.
I don't think there's
No, it
anyone
depends
else.
on the Champions League knockout rounds. Like good season again by Vinny. Even the second half will still put him up there. Mbappe again, like having the second half of the run
Yeah,
in the
but he's
Champions
not a
League,
good
he'll still
boy.
be up there.
He's not a good
Yeah,
boy. That's why
sure.
he's
Yeah,
not going to win it.
For me, like, yeah. So coming back to the game, I think this is another slot masterclass. The way he managed the game, like that, the corner routine for the first goal, right? We have never done that. Something he brought out for this game, and then that midfield of like, if you saw Mecca, like you would not even say his name because his role was completely different. I thought like his role
Yeah.
was just to be like another
He's in
block,
the
like for
shadow.
Gravenberg. Yeah, just like a shadow, and then for a player of like Mecca's caliber to accept that role and to play it like that he did. Oh, dude, I like obviously like the second half was probably boring for the neutrals, but for me, my wife who is right here, and everybody else in that there, I think it was amazing. Yeah.
I mean, when you know you wrapped up the game in the first half and you see an insipid City attack that's headed by that useless piece of shit Foden, I mean, even I would be very happy, man. No, credit to you guys, by the way. Credit to you. This is just a diss on Foden. Anyone here again tells me that Bugger is better than Saka, no, I am going to literally come and stab you guys.
he was better
Guy
this
was
season.
so bad. My God, he was so pathetic today. Dude didn't control the ball once. Once.
He's very poor.
My focus was only on that Bugger today.
One thing to say, and again, this is not like a diss at Arsenal. Teams played without strikers, guys. There was no striker on the pitch. There were
But
Yeah,
no.
we
dude,
saw what
Liverpool
happened.
need a striker anyway.
Yeah, you get the ball to Salah, you'll get the goal, man. Why tension for you?
I mean,
No, I mean
Liverpool
like
wasn't even playing that game of like crossing or playing
Leading
through the
us.
center. It was all just either wings just whip the ball like over the line. Both of the wing backs are like slow and for whatever reason completely absent-minded. They had so much luck down the line. Even Diaz had not a great game, to be honest.
Nathan Ake
I
was
think
horrible. Oh.
yes,
Man
yeah,
City, Man City had one gameplay: pass to Doku, take on Trent, which they did
that's basically
brilliantly.
what happened because that was the
Doku
only
was
weak point
brilliant
at
though.
that point, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Doku was
yep.
But
He created
then
chances.
yeah. So then I think like Liverpool countered with like either having Konate like and or like so Graven and Sobos like coming to help, Salah help. But then yeah, Trent. I
No,
think it was super exposed again. But anyway, job done.
I think
Good job.
I think I was just thinking like 5 minutes ago or just before the podcast. If you take the team of the year this season, right? It's going to be 10 Liverpool players plus Isaac in front, dude. It has to be that. It literally has to be. I don't see any other player getting into the team of the year this season.
I
Only thing
wouldn't
is
take
Isaac.
Robertson, bro. I wouldn't take
Yeah,
Robertson.
true.
Okay, maybe Robinson from Fulham maybe can get it. That's the only other change I can think
But
of.
good, yeah.
Yeah, but it has to
Isn't
be
it a
like
shame that
supremely
Arsenal does not
dominating.
have somebody that can actually?
Who actually performed this season for us? No.
That's what I'm saying. They're sitting second in the table, and still we do not have one decent shout out other than probably a decent, like, Raya versus Allison shout outs. But even then, Allison has been like absolutely golden. Like, that dude, even if he mispasses or something like that, but still his saves are always on point, never loses any specific concentration during the game, doesn't make mistakes. It's almost
Yeah,
impossible to say there is a
it's
better
already
goalkeeper at
very.
this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's already rare that Van Dijk and Konate make a mistake, and then even if they do, this bugger is there behind them. So, I mean, you'll have to give kudos to Liverpool. They're by a country mile the best club in the country right now. Stop grinning, dude. I think he was
I can't
controlling
help it, man. I can't help it. This is like you talked to me like 8 months before. So today we would be here with a new manager having spent zero in the transfer. Who had that on their bingo cards, bro? I didn't. None of the Liverpool fan base had. But anyway, I also like I would also like agree with you on the fact that like there's also been a dip from like other teams like Arsenal have
Yeah.
not been at the peak. Like obviously Man City have not been at their peak, etc. But then so Liverpool have also been on top for as long, like consistently been like in the form that they have been, which is what is being shown in the table this season, I guess.
I'll actually change what you said a little bit. even if other teams, sorry, let me take a step back. Arsenal being second in the table this year is a function of other teams doing badly. Liverpool being top has other teams being good or bad has no bearing on Liverpool, because Liverpool, according to me, have been the best club in the country or in the world right now, actually.
I mean,
So even if City were 100%, even if Chelsea were 100%, I'd still say Liverpool would be the best team in the club country.
so there are
The
some
way that,
things.
sorry,
There are some things the title race does it, bro. So there are some things that title race does to top teams. Like, when there is a close race, things are a little bit more pressure cooker side of things. You probably have more injuries. You probably make mistakes. So Liverpool never had to honestly feel that pressure as much as the previous seasons where they were like 1 point separated and all that stuff, right? So squad didn't even have to matter for Liverpool this time around. They've coasted through without having major injuries. That's one, and then having this zero pressure from
I, bro,
uh, yes.
I will bring my Excel sheet. Yesterday, I literally sat and calculated our injuries versus everybody else. We have had our fair share
No,
of
come
injuries.
on.
I would not say,
Those are not
No, I
season-ending
mean,
injuries,
no,
bro.
no, no.
Teams had season-ending injuries.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
bro,
about
come on,
the
bro.
players that make a difference that have an injury. No, one
Hey,
second, one second.
see,
So it's the
wait.
player. Okay, I was saying, I'm actually agreeing with you, by the way, Avinash. The fact, even though you've not had your best player being injured, it doesn't matter. The fact that the squad is depleted means the regular players play so much more, which gives them more of a chance to get injured. And again, injury can never be used as an excuse across the season, because you've been given 2 transfer windows to rectify
Sure.
that. The
Yeah.
fact that you're not prepared to rectify it is your fault, right? Like Arsenal's problem is the fact that we were cocky enough to say we don't need a striker in the summer because Havertz is scoring. We don't need a striker in the January window because we believe there's no one in world football that's good enough to elevate this team. How is no one in the world good enough for a team that hasn't won anything?
I
How
think
is
there are
that
3 or 4
possible?
free agents that can help us at this point.
Dude, I'll take one of you guys to go play, man. I'm telling you.
I am
Avinash
ready
is
to play the Bobby.
back in
I
game
am ready
already.
to
Yeah.
play the. I am ready to play the Bobby Firmino role for Arsenal any day, guys. But
Yeah, you
anyway,
can play and please score. You even if you score, it won't matter because Liverpool will still win, so you don't need to score own goals.
yeah. No. The point that I had on injuries, right? See, like I would say, like again, I'm not going to like go a lot on this. I would just quote what like Slot keeps saying. Liverpool injuries don't come out because Liverpool kept winning. Like we had like Jota out for a couple of months. We had Allison for a couple of months. Trent, Konate, now even like Gakpo, like in this like hard form of the run, we didn't have Gakpo for like 3-4 games. So it's not like we have been like completely injury free. But then again, the Slot has been able to like rotate the squad. He's been able to make the squad not as 11-member squad, but more like a 15-16-member squad, which is what has helped as well.
Yeah, it's also the fact that when you had injuries, also the other players stepped up. Like Kelleher stepped up when Allison was injured, right? Okay, fine, Salah didn't get injured this season, so you didn't have to worry about that. But even when Jota got injured, Gakpo was scoring. You had Darwin Núñez come on and score against Bournemouth away, which was actually a pretty critical win for you guys. So there are people who are doing the work for your team, which is where Arsenal are lacking. Because if the first 11 don't perform, the second 4 or 5 are unable to do anything. And plus, our first 11 also were not doing shit with that Gabriel Jesus doing nothing on the pitch. So yeah, it's our fault. We screwed up.
For the most part of the season, Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli, both of them were below average. Martinelli just picked up and then he got injured.
Yeah.
And Saka had like season-ending injury when he was still like probably at the top of his game for a good amount of time. So it's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right. I don't know, man. It's pathetic that the league's done before March. Double-digit games left in the season, man. How does the league get done so quickly? How is every team around Liverpool performing so badly at exactly the same time that we don't even get entertainment at this point? Kudos to Liverpool for being that good. That's a separate thing altogether. But how is it like now the one criticism Arteta will have to face is, how does someone like Slot come in his first season and win the league and you've taken 5 years to do that? Like, how does that happen?
There was a difference between the squad that Slot has. Like, well-functioning Klopp squad is still good enough. But when Arteta came in, the squad was.
I don't deny that. I don't deny that. But
Arteta was given enough chance. Yes.
You were given time. You were given money. When you should have bought a striker, you bought 2 other defenders, which was not needed, and then you bought 2 left backs only to have your player from your academy come and be your starting left back.
Yeah.
Right. So you bought Merino when you should have been buying a striker. Your fault. Right. Like, Can't take it away. Slot has done absolutely wonderful this season to get Liverpool to where they are. And again, I'll give you the fact that okay, they're good in the league and they're screwing up everywhere else. It's one thing. They are all round doing really well. Even in the Champions League, anything that's thrown in front of them, they're able to win. So,
I
they
think
are?
that
Yeah. Go ahead, finish.
to share more on that Arteta point, right? Like I know like folks compare like Klopp handed like a so pretty good team to Slot, but I guess like Arteta's team wasn't bad either. They finished like second for last two seasons, so he had the squad. He needed that like 1 to 2 players. I think the narrative will flip on Arteta where he wasn't authoritative enough or he wasn't strong enough to slam dunk on those strikers that the team needed, etc. Right? Like you have to give the manager some blame for where the squad
100%.
is like right now. Like you had
100%.
to like convince your owners, okay, we need another 100 million striker because that seems to be essentially the difference. Like if you ask me, Arsenal are and so Isak away from challenging for the title. Like that's where they are in, at least like in my opinion.
Yeah, to continue his point, everybody and their dog knows that Arsenal needs a
Yeah.
striker. Not even an Isak, bro. Not even an Isak. An out of form Watkins in the middle of the
Oh, yeah,
season
for
where
sure.
he wasn't even starting the games.
Yeah.
That would have been fine. Like, instead of spending that much money on Merino, could have just doubled it. And Arsenal would have happily let go Watkins, like,
Yeah.
in the
I,
beginning of
I
the transfer window.
100% agree. Plus, I think there's also a function where I think Arteta takes the safe approach in games sometimes. When it's 1-1, he tries to block out the game rather than go for a win, which Slot will never do. I've seen, like last season against City when it was a 0-0 draw, you didn't need to be a 0-0 draw. You should have gone for a
Sure.
win,
Yep.
right?
That
And
makes a
those are
lot
the
of difference, by the way. Yeah.
we
Yep.
lost it like league by 2 points,
Yep.
right? So
That
even
was
when you
not
got
good.
to win,
I had a lot of respect up until then, and then I was like, okay, if you are not going to go head to head with the person who you are facing for the title, and didn't go into it thinking that okay, I can win this or I should win this, then
yeah,
thereby you lost your psychological game, but like immediately before the game
yeah.
even like kicked off. So. That game made a lot of difference. Not just that, like losing to Arsenal at that point of time for City would have been heartbreaking. Thinking that okay,
Yeah,
they got an up, and then they're gonna be under pressure, and Arsenal would have been like in a much better position after that.
yeah,
So
for sure.
they were like, okay, fine, yeah, it doesn't make any difference as long as we keep it the same points, and we can probably hope they're gonna like lose some other game or draw some other game. Well, that was a very
Yeah.
bad negative move. Yeah.
But the one thing I will say right now, right? I fear that this is the end of us challenging because I genuinely have a feeling now Real Madrid will come in for Saliba. It'll be difficult for us to say no because we'll need to balance the book somewhere. We'll lose a Rolls Royce of a defender, and then who are you going to get to replace him? It's not going to be the same. And then I'm assuming Odegaard will want to leave. Partey will leave. And Partey, how much ever people criticize him, he's still a magnificent player on his day. Can't really take that away from him. And again, we'll go through the cycle of rebuilding, which will take us a few years. And I think that's the end of it for us now. It's sad
Okay.
that all of this came down to. In my mind, I think this will happen. But if we keep Saliba and if we actually learn a lesson and get a good striker and a good winger and not rely on Trossard every single game, maybe we can do something. But this team needs to win a title to understand what it feels like before they can say, "Hey, we will challenge for a title."
Can I say that Premier League is entering into a new kind of an era where there is a strong possibility that Liverpool may not have the same team, Arsenal is not going to be the same team,
Yeah,
and
City will buy.
City is also pretty much on the downturn. Like let's see if Pep can even turn the ship around next season, maybe or not. But given the circumstances, this is probably one of those years where Premier League is going into a different kind of a
I agree.
era.
I agree. Yeah, because now KDB will most likely be moved on. He's too old.
Yeah.
Bugger's playing
Yeah.
defensive role today. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
The team will likely be built around Marmoush, Haaland, and Foden, and potentially Doku. So they will have to get in like a insane playmaker, which they'll spend like another 150 million.
Sure. Yeah. No doubt.
City will be back. I wouldn't really be surprised if Liverpool continue where they are. Chelsea may potentially make a comeback. Again, they'll spend big.
No, if
Question of
Chelsea
manager
is
fitting.
ending their season at like eighth or something like that, I don't see Maresca surviving that, in my opinion. Although he's done good, he's done a good job, but I don't think the owners would see the same.
When has
Yeah,
manager turnover ever affected Liverpool? Sorry, Chelsea. That really doesn't has had no bearing on them, right? Every
sure.
2 years they have a new manager.
This is embarrassing. Embarrassing for Premier League, embarrassing for all the rest of the collective 4 or 5 big teams just failing so bad in the same season. Even the COVID season where you guys won by like 30 points, it was
Yeah.
purely because the City and Liverpool were the only 2 big teams at that point, because Arsenal was not the same. United is United. So at that point of time, it was honestly just a 2 horse race for the longest time until Arteta brought the Arsenal team slowly into the place where we are right now. But this one is, there is good Chelsea. There was good Chelsea. There was good Aston Villa. There was good Newcastle. United, whatever. I don't even I have no words for that team anymore.
No acknowledgement. Don't acknowledge. Yeah.
Seriously. So at this point, we give credit to Liverpool, but there has to be serious questions asked. What has driven the big teams to underperform so bad when there is nothing that drastically different? Yes, injuries happen. There are a number of games have increased, but it's the same thing for Liverpool as well. So I hope this is just one off season for the entire Premier League, and it's just like the odds of this happening were like worse than the lottery winning, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah.
For me, I'm 100% with you there. Just talking from a pure football fan standpoint and all of that, right? What is happening at Man City, I feel today's game makes it even worse than the drop in form that they had in November and December, because they look lost even after spending crazy amount of 200 million in the transfer window and having this ridiculously crazy contract for I am hoping by now the humbled Haaland, I'm going to call him, right? So they bought in players, and so today if you see, all 3 of those players started for them, right? Mamu started at the top, so Gonzalez in the mid,
middle.
and the new center back as well. And this was their performance, right? They weren't able to match Liverpool in any department. And I want, as much as you want to also say this was a slot masterclass in terms of changing the game tactics, etc. At the end of the day, it is Manchester City, Pep Guardiola. What new are you doing? What are you changing in your squad other than buying these high caliber potential players and expecting them to do it for you, right?
Yeah.
That's probably one thing that, so to be honest, it's pretty crazy that this is happening. And I don't know, you could go to the extent of saying this is probably the greatest fall from a cliff for any team, which is unbelievable at this point.
I mean, if this repeats next season, then yes. So the thing is, you can have an off season, you can have an odd season. Like everybody has an off season at this point. The good part about, okay, so if I have to draw some nice silver lining for Manchester City, the good part about their transfers were they brought young players, or pretty much the players who have very good caliber. So if Rodri comes back, and if the team actually gets enough get into the form at the same time, it was like a weird cancer that spread through every single team, every single player in that team. Foden looks off. Every single midfielder, Bernardo Silva,
Bruyne.
De Bruyne has been injured on and off. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
He's getting old as well. So, but it was just a weird cancerous spread through the title winning center backs like Diaz, Ake, Akanji is injured again, but before that as well, it's the same thing. So they all look lost. Their offense looks laborious, slow, uncreative.
Yeah.
So, and they lose the ball and it's over. It's almost as if there's just wax figures just standing there and the players would easily pass behind them and then just score either a deflected goal or not. It's just nobody's trying to even cover the person who's shooting.
Yeah.
The goal is inevitable when playing against them, and their attacks are so slow, so slow, and it's so predictable at this point. So my My hope, at least, is for Premier League is that City did buy decent purchases. They just didn't go and buy some random players just to
Yeah,
fill the
fair,
gaps.
fair.
Hopefully,
Extremely
Liverpool,
high potential. Yeah, everyone have
yes,
extremely high potential. Yeah.
for sure. And hopefully, Liverpool, even if they lose TAA, VVD, or Salah, hopefully they do spend
Yeah.
some money in getting some potential candidates rather
Yeah.
than these this half injury
No, oh, 100%. Yeah.
prone players. Uh, so I still can't say that the City has fallen. I can give them a pass saying that, okay, this was an off season, but after spending so much money, you cannot possibly have an off season this bad. Yes, you can come second. Yes, you
For
can come
me,
even
yeah.
like close third, but this was borderline fighting for Champions League after that with that squad is
Yeah.
embarrassing. Yeah.
For me, for me, like why City's bad form or like whatever they're going through is like I feel it is larger than what it is right now is because I'm seeing everyone going through a very bad patch, not just the players from a coaching standpoint as well.
Yep.
Pep hasn't there hasn't been anything creative that Pep is being able to do. He
Yep.
okay, see now you lose a Ballon d'Or player in like Rodri for sure. But this is a $1 billion squad. Like this is a squad with world class players who start for their country every time they are on. I mean they go right. So it's crazy to imagine that Pep hasn't been able to figure out something in terms of a replacement or like maybe two-player replacement, three players or whatever, and the reliance on his what can I say? Like trusted team, like Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Kovacic, like just bringing them on and expecting them to do like something out of the ordinary is probably why I feel this is a larger order than like one like off season or one preseason of like gelling these all players can do. And not to say now Pep has a bloated squad. Like
Yeah.
it is a squad where you have like Grealish on the bench, Noon's not starting. This is a pretty bloated squad right now.
No, I'm sure they'll
So
offload.
yeah,
They're very good at offloading as well.
oh yeah,
So
yeah, that's
they
true.
do very good business. There's no doubt about that. So honestly, over the past 4 or 5 seasons, outside the first season he went trophyless when he first came into the city. That city squad was nowhere close to what Pep Guardiola would have
Oh,
wanted anyway.
100%. Yeah,
Then he made right choices. He sent some our ways and some brought some back. And then for so long, this team has been on that cruise control mode where
yeah,
yes, these players know what to do.
yeah.
Rodri knows what to do. Bernardo Silva knows what to do. Gundogan knows what to do. KDB knows what to do. So there isn't much where he had to like, okay, I need to come up with some crazy solution only for this specific situation or something. They knew how to manage most of it. The times when he overthinks, he actually ends up ruining the game a lot of
Yeah.
times. Like against the Liverpool, the two legs in Champions League, too
Yeah.
much overthinking and then throws
The
the game
classic
away.
example was Champions League final as well. Like he brought in Fabinho out of like the blue or something like that. Yeah.
For no reason. So I mean, again, so I think this is one of those things where it is challenging for Pep. He may have to go back to thinking that okay, it's not the cruise control city anymore. I need to think something else, and it is difficult for anybody to make some changes through the midseason when you play so many
Fair.
games. We
That's fair.
give the same excuse for Amarim. But honestly, this was very, very bad for Pep. This is like an F grade in his report card if there was ever anything. This is the first time he lost 13 games in a season, and the
Yeah.
season has not ended yet. There is more than like 10 to 12 games, I guess, if I'm not wrong,
11,
left
11
to
more to
play.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, 11 more games to play. And I'm sure that the losses haven't hit their
Oh, no.
ceiling or something like that. So this is probably by far the worst season for him under any team he has taken over.
Oh,
Even
100%.
the first season he came fourth. He barely made it to the Champions League spot. He didn't lose this many games.
Maybe to like switch gears to like Liverpool. Two words for me like slot masterclass. Like I think when I saw the starting 11, I saw like four like midfields. There itself, you got a hint of okay, what sort of a game is this going to be? This is not your you attack, we attack. We'll go like all in and some match you out. This was like extremely thoughtful,
GG
and
before the game
huh?
even started.
Yeah, it was like it was just neutralizing everything that they had to do, and see again there also maybe another word for Pep. In this game, I thought they just had one plan. Pass the ball to Doku, ask him to take on Trent, try to get a cross in. There wasn't anything else that was happening in the game. Like they didn't try a long ball. They didn't try to call in the Liverpool towards their defense, play off the back or something like that. So
No,
I think yeah,
Slot neutralized that as well. So they didn't have to play from the back. There was no pressure from Liverpool
yeah,
whatsoever. They were like, okay, you do you. We
fair,
got a goal, we got a set piece, and we made that count.
yeah.
And then yeah, okay, it's your turn. It's smart. Like they were super efficient. There is no reason to say that, hey, I'm an attacking team. I'm just gonna go do what I want to do. No, there's no reason. So there's a title at risk. You knew what to do. You know what your players are capable
Fair.
of. They off the ball game management was masterclass today, and this goes a long way. So this today Liverpool looks like one of those teams who can go all the way through Champions League because these are the kind of things which you need to do to play
Yeah.
knockout football. It's not easy. Okay, I'm an attacking team. I'm just going to go play. The current Barca is basically a simple example. I have so much difficulty in believing this team going through all the knockout games because it all takes one small mistake, one offside trap not working, us being too attacking, then boom, you don't know what to do. Like Benfica, yes, you came back, but if you're playing against a strong team in a final, you made a mistake in an offside trap, and that's pretty much game over at that point. So
Yep.
you need to know how to adapt to some games like this, and Slot did very, very well in this way. And this shows that he has more than one dimension. This
Exactly.
shows
Oh yeah.
that I don't need a striker to actually be threatening.
Time and again,
Do
bro. Yeah, I think
yeah,
So that's an excellent point, right? I think like we keep going back to players like to managers like Arteta, to managers like Pep, who like it's crazy to even say that like Pep is being like one dimensional or Arteta is being like one dimensional, but in terms of the number of in-game adjustments, the number of like formation changes, the number of personals being in like different roles that he's able to bring out. That's been just like amazing to watch, and like even for any like neutral fan, like this style of football and the game of football is just beautiful. Like, oh man, I I don't know if this will be there. I'll go find a highlight, like the way that he has transformed players. Like for example, Gravenberg, there was a moment where there was a cross, he caught the cross and he turned and he like knocked off two people.
yep.
I don't even know, man, what to say. As obviously as a Liverpool fan, I'm like flying on like cloud nine, but I will continue to stay humble and be on the ground for sure.
It's okay. Shravan is not here, so you don't have to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was also going through the stat sheet like to see what were the stats of the game. Like 66% possession, bro. Like 34% possession for like Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, this was just, hey, break us down if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna score at will, and all the chances Liverpool got were high quality chances.
Yeah. Oh,
They needed some crazy ass defending from City to even neutralize that threat. And then, but Liverpool was like, okay, yeah, we can go again. I'm sure
yeah.
they'll lose the ball because there was too many people who were complacent. It's that I don't know. They were complacent and then going back again, complacent then going back again. City was just weird today. They looked so much better in the first half, even after the goal scored.
Yeah.
City did look like, oh, okay, they're trying to get
They were
back to the
threatening. Yeah.
game. Yeah, they were threatening, and it looks like, okay, if City equalizes now, there's a good chance that we have a game at hand. But no. So the minute the second goal went in, it was just pointless. Yeah.
Like so maybe quickly from here, I would say for like so Liverpool is to continue to keep this as momentum going. Like I mean I think this is the same for like every team. Ridiculous number of fixtures going to like come your way. For Liverpool, we have the added one of the Carabao Cup final as well, along with the Champions League two legs versus like PSG. uh, I think
No.
for Arsenal too, I think Arsenal have a tough one against like Nottingham, who look pretty awesome. This is going to be like Nottingham's home. Liverpool going to Newcastle. Both those teams had 4-3 today, which is like a crazy like thriller. So
Yeah, that game
uh,
was lit.
yeah, so more exciting. Like I think like more things to follow, but Liverpool should feel like they are also leg up at this point and continue to keep that momentum going. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope Isaac gets a good transfer, bro. Whether it's inside the Premier League or outside, I hope that dude makes the right choice because he has so much potential, and I want him in a place where he can win the titles,
So
make a difference. Yeah,
in terms of that, I have been burnt in the past where FSG. I think this is FSG.
rant.
So
PDF.
leaking, bro. Like they will leak these stuff just to keep us fans on the hook, right? Like
I
so
mean,
this happened two
was
years ago with Mbappe. Hey,
wait,
by the way, Klopp, who's Klopp's favorite player? Mbappe, bro. So we are bringing Mbappe to Liverpool. Imagine Salah, Mbappe, Mane. Oh my god! And then like all of us will drool for like 6 months, and then nothing will happen. This time I am not taking the bait. I'm reading everywhere like Liverpool is in for Isak. They will exchange for some Nunez. Come on, dude. Newcastle
no,
isn't dumb. They don't need to do anything with so Isak. He has 2 years left on his contract. He is the best right now at
and he's young.
yeah, and he's insanely like young, right? Like 200 million also they don't need to move because like next year this is going to be the same situation. Like he's going to continue to be awesome and things
No,
like
I
that.
mean, if they are ready to sell, I think they should sell this season because 1 year after that, I think they lose all the negotiation power.
Oh, that's fair too.
Other,
Yeah.
okay, fine, yeah, one more season we can wait. We can sign that guy
Yeah, but
on
then
free
again,
transfer. Yeah.
so this goes back to where Newcastle are and what their ambitions are. Like, is Newcastle because I want to say like 2 seasons ago they showed ambition. They brought in like Tonali and all of those folks in, right? Last season was a dull, I guess. Maybe they were like on the
No, they were
border
in
of like
too many
FHG or
injuries. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
too many injuries and all of that.
One of
Uh,
them was Isaac. Yeah,
yeah, this season,
yeah,
oh, Isak, bro, like insane.
yeah.
Like, so I was talking to so someone so today at the game. He was like, we are like, so Isak, like, so Liverpool had a chance to so sign Isak when he was like 3 years, 3 years
Yeah,
earlier or something like that. And like, bro, it's
yeah.
FSG, bro. They must have had all these opportunities. It's never gonna happen. But then, yeah.
Yeah, this is all that same bullshit where like Barca could have signed Ronaldo or something like
Oh,
that. I'm like, dude, all this don't say all this stuff. It's okay. Even Haaland, like apparently they said that we shouldn't be able to sign on such a small amount of sample size. Alfonso Davies, oh, what are we going to do with a Canadian player? We don't have a Canadian ever. So I don't know if it is like a small sample size again, and he might not be that good. So all these kinds of stuff they keep popping out, and we only hear the good ones
yep,
being missed out. Okay,
fair.
but Isaac, hopefully he gets. I mean, he seems to be the prime striker that's probably gonna be
Everybody
sold.
wants. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody wants.
Yeah. I think
We'll
it's
see.
it's yeah. So I want to say this will basically be like up to Newcastle and where their ambitions are. If they feel they're gonna continue to be like in the top four and they want to like challenge, or if they want to just be like in that so Europa League squad, so that's enough for us. Then I'm sure they're gonna like cash out on Isak.
No, even
But
if
yeah,
they cash out, right? For example, even if they like, let's say if they got like $150 million bid from either like
yeah,
Arsenal or some other the big team,
not Liverpool.
why? What is the loss in taking that 150 mil? Because it's like double the amount of whatever you paid for to get him,
Fair.
and then go find some other young striker who is, if not Isaac, like at least decently like
Potential enough.
effective
Yeah,
enough. Because your aim is not to go for the title now.
yeah.
You're slowly climbing up the ladder, and they're not overdoing it, and they're not trying to overachieve. So I see Aston Villa also doing the same kind of thing. Like they're not randomly throwing away money, and they're just making
Taking
calculated
players for
steps. And
loan. So being
yes,
calculated, right? So trying to see how far they can stretch with this team and then go for that final push, I guess. Yeah.
100%. So that's what I'm saying. This is going to be a new era in Premier League starting next season with if City doesn't continue to if City does continue to go down this road and Liverpool losing out on some massive players,
Yeah.
Arteta has hit his peak and probably he either move on after a couple of seasons or this is basically what they can achieve at this point. So we are probably going to see some other teams. Uh,
Yeah.
Dude, United, get your shit together. There is a real possibility
Not
of
happening.
you coming back into at least the top six if you make the right choices and not do some stupid ass bullshit that has been happening over the past 4 years.
Yeah.
It is a good time for for a good team that is underachieving.
So,
Yeah.
so actually here, right, and here I want to, I know folks may hate it. Quote Mark Goldbridge. Actually more his fan. So there was a fan who gave a good take on this. Do so United need a low IQ manager at this point, and
Yes,
it was like see when they had David Moyes
Moyes.
etc. Right, so like the comparison is what David Moyes is doing at Everton. What David Moyes is doing at Everton is play simple, direct football. Like that is a squad that he has, that is a player that he has. So that is the kind of like football, and that has been so effective. So David Moyes is not going to Everton and trying to play Pep style football, right? But what Amorim is doing is so different. He's taking the Man U squad and trying to play high IQ football with a squad that cannot play high IQ football. So that was,
Ye-
I thought, like a very well like put like analysis of what is going on at Man U. I mean, I'm not here saying that Samarim is extremely high IQ or he's top, he's awesome, etc. Because he has not showed that like at the highest level. Yeah, Sporting obviously all of that he did, but then yeah, do so United need a low IQ manager with the squad unless and until they say, okay, come this transfer season, here is like the 300 million for you to like change the squad like completely, right?
Dude, now that I think of it, even Gareth Southgate would be much better option. Graham Potter would be much better option.
Yeah.
These are the managers who don't do crazy stuff. They just get the basics right. They don't know how to win titles, but they still know how to get through a 38 league, 38
Season
game
game, yeah.
league, and then slowly get up there and basically make good investment and get the best out
Yeah.
of the most important players.
Yeah.
And yes, you're now it's like these are not the managers who's going to get you Champions League titles. But bro, that's not what you want at this point if you're United.
100%. Yeah.
Just be in the top 10, be in the top 6, get European football consistently. So you have players that want to come to you, not just for the money, like Casemiro has done, Maguire has done. Like Maguire again, he's proven to be the better player over the past couple of years simply because they all suck so bad around him. So don't attract players who are there only for the money. Just show that you have a plan and you are going to go places, and the player really wants to be there. It's been such a shit show for United for so long, and they keep making the same mistakes. And now, okay, fine. If you don't fire Amorim right now, this is what's going to happen over the next couple of seasons. Amorim will have a very good season, number one, where he's going to get a bunch of players for himself.
Yeah.
And then they will start slowing down.
Yeah. And then they will
All
again,
the same
they
shit
go
show.
back to
They'll
the
have
same
like-
cycle. Yeah.
This has happened like 4 times now. Same
Yeah.
thing happened with Ole. Ole, they gave too much time. And then ETH. Mourinho, I guess so,
Ole,
yeah.
ETH, and then now Amorim again. Yeah.
In the recent time, Mourinho was the most successful manager for them, and that's coming second
100%. Yeah.
at this point. I don't know, man. So I get your shit together. Just go back to basics. There is a good potential for United to actually coming back up because every good team is going through a weird transition, whether they want it or not. City,
Liverpool,
and
Chelsea,
Arsenal.
everyone, yeah. But I feel the thing with like United is like it. I mean, it'll go back to their fan base and their ownership.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Like it's been like 11 years since like the Sir Alex left, right? Like, and you are where you are, right?
Yeah.
So you need to understand that transformation is not going to happen overnight. It has to be over for you, especially at this place at which you are, like 3 transfer seasons minimum in terms of like turning this around. And then as you shared, right, the goal is not top 4 or so title next the season. It has to be first top 8, then okay top 6, then you go into top 4, and the fans have to be patient. Like if the fans ask for like Amarim's head, like I don't know, like what else, right? But yeah, as
No,
you shared, right? So maybe a Gareth Southgate is exactly what this team like needs, which I'm 100% sure 90% of the fans won't be able to digest.
Yeah,
They'll be
because-
like, oh no, this is not.
Yeah, they have this negative idea about Gareth Southgate because he came so close with England and always plays the negative football, and then he doesn't do exactly what the fans want. It's like, dude, you're a fan. You're just a fan. You know maybe 1% of what that guy actually knows and sees in terms of a game, what goes on. Yes, managers make mistakes. Gareth Southgate also made a lot of mistakes during his England tenure, but don't expect miracles. No manager is going to give you miracles. Slot is a random event, which is never going to repeat. It's so difficult for a manager taking on some squad which he didn't build
Yeah.
to do something with it. Stop giving every single manager what the previous manager wanted,
Exactly.
and then expect something random to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So be patient. Just dig into the academy. They have a decent academy as well. So just fine. It's fine. Just go search for the talent which you have grown, and it's totally fine if you don't spend 200 million or get in like this most shiny object every single transfer window. It's almost the fans decide every single transfer that goes through in there.
Yeah, the fan pressure.
Kudos to Amram on the Drogu transfer. At least he looks very good.
Yeah.
He has potential, but I don't know how long that's gonna last at this point. Again, it spreads, right? So it's the same stuff. Like good players. Hoyland looked good in the beginning, and again that dude fell off. Xerxes doesn't have the pace, but he's trying to do something completely he's new to.
Yeah.
He's carrying the ball. Bruno has lost it. It's just Onana is in the same game. He shows how good he is and how bad he can get. Non-stop, this weird inconsistency within the game and over a season has to stop.
100%.
Just get your shit right. And if it is indeed Amrim that needs firing, just do it. It's okay. It's totally fine. But don't repeat the same shit. That's all.
But then, yeah, as you say, right, they will so fire Amarim and hire another Amarim, which is the crazy part. So
Yeah, Eddie Howe.
Anyway,
Look at what he has done.
Uh,
With the squad he had, he bought some bunch of players, but still, it's like, okay, I'm not going to aim for the biggest title there is. No, this is my game. My genuine aim is how can I get the best out of this team? Who do I need to fill in the specific gaps?
Yep.
And then take it from game to game. And if possible, we will win some titles and we'll go through some finals.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. But yeah, ATH won two titles, but didn't matter. Look where you have ended up.
no hope for Manu. I'm not complaining, bro. Chalo, should we wrap on that note? No
Yep.
hope for Manu.